that's space. So even
Yes.
if it's just a matter of them getting down there tomorrow to pick up their dog, that means that that's space that they have to clear, that another dog, it could cost that dog its life simply because they don't have the space.
You know, and I have to say, this is the first time I've seen a lot of shelters being a little proactive.
This year was pretty good. I'm
impressed because I know Ventura County for the past 3 days has been offering free microchips, helping people register them so that if they do go missing,
Right.
I know East Valley did something. What did they do
yeah,
yesterday?
they did 4-day fosters. So it was a great program I saw, and so they really put out the word there to get 4-day fosters during this window of time so that they don't have – I mean, those dogs come back. Hopefully there's some foster failures. But so that those dogs, you know, so they have the space for those dogs to get loose. But number one thing, please, because just keep your pet indoors. Like, just
Yes.
keep them inside. Don't think about taking them for a walk tonight, because if they get away, then what do? And then your dog's stuck in a shelter, and it could cost another dog its life. So
all weekend, not just today, tomorrow, probably through Monday. You know, people are going to be, there's going to be those stragglers that
Those
have
parties.
the parties, but you know, not even in the backyard. You know, if you have I have a 6-foot fence. Well, they get scared enough, they're going to dig under. They will find a way out.
Exactly. And so it's like, just keep them inside. So, I mean, because it's not just, I mean, your dog could get hurt, your dog could get hit by a car. I mean, there's a number of things that could happen to your personal dog, but it could cost the life of a dog that's been in the shelter.
And it sounds funny, but it's so simple. Keep them inside.
Right.
It's not a difficult concept.
You know what I mean? I would rather clean up some tinkle any
Right.
day than have to go clean up, you know, my dog's body off the road or something like that.
Yes.
So.
No, I 100% agree. So today we have a lot of stories coming up.
We've got some big stories, some things that are catching a lot of national and local attention. So, and it looks like, I mean, our first story is all going to be about this man in Santa Barbara. So we touched base about it a little bit. We talked about it a little bit
Yes, we
earlier,
did.
but very horrific story, and we have a few people calling in on that today. So right after our break, then we'll jump right into that.
And when we get to this hot topic, remember our phone number is 818-353-1276. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Into it also. Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So we've got a big story here. It is local because it's in Santa Barbara, so
Yes.
it's close to us here.
And we'll read it first, but we do have Jill Anderson, co-founder of Shadows Fund Rescue online. We'll patch her in, but we're going to read the story first, and then we'll get her take on this and what's happening down in Santa Barbara.
So a Santa Barbara man by the name of, I can't even pronounce it, but I just want to say, douchebag. A Santa Barbara man by the name of Duane Chen will spend a year in jail and have 5 years of probation for pleading guilty to 4 felonies, 2 of which are animal cruelty charges. Chen admitted to torturing and abusing his girlfriend's Doberman Pinscher puppy, breaking his legs, ribs, cutting his penis off, sexually assaulting him, and burning his back legs with a lighter. The puppy had to be euthanized at the vet when rehabilitation provided unobtainable. So now this story,
I don't even know what to say about this. And what disturbs me is beyond you can tell there's something wrong with this gentleman.
Oh yeah.
But beyond this, we already know that it's a felony. Animal abuse is now a felony. But a felony carries 1 year. and 5 years probation.
Well, and that's the thing, and I know once we get Jill on the phone, I'm sure she'll give us more information on that. But the biggest thing that I saw about this is that the judge could sentence him to longer, but this is what the judge chose. The judge chose to sentence him to only a year, which means he'll probably serve 6 months. And this story, if you see, I mean, they have video footage of it, and it was one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen. I mean, literally the poor puppy's skin was falling off, and the vets and the ACO, I mean, everyone was doing everything they could.
And let me read again exactly what he did to the animal. Breaking his legs, ribs, cutting his penis off, sexually assaulting him, and burning his back legs with a lighter.
And he pleaded guilty to these things.
This is a 5-month-old puppy? Is that correct?
Yes, 5-month-old puppy, 5-month-old little min pin. So little puppy. Named Davy. I believe it was Davy. Was it Davy? Okay, so anyway, it was a precious puppy. It's a precious little min pin. And this guy, I mean, he's got problems to me beyond the animal cruelty situation. I mean, this is something, he also, choked the girlfriend and told the girlfriend to get rid of all the evidence and things like that.
So let's get Jill on the line and so she can tell us a little bit more because she's down in Santa Barbara and handling.
Right. Welcome, Jill, to Rescue Radio. My name's Christina and you're here with me and Chad. How are you?
Hi, Christine and Chad. Thank you. I've been better. This was a tough week to have to sit through the sentencing of this little puppy.
So I hate to have to make you go through this again, but unfortunately, if we don't get the story out there and if you don't tell it to all its gory details, people won't understand, that this man got away with murder.
Right.
Can you go and tell in detail what exactly happened?
Yeah, I will. So this all happened about a year ago. Mr. Chen was arrested in May of 2014 for these acts that you described. And the only one I'll correct you on was that he was burned over 80% of his body. It wasn't limited to his back legs.
Oh, that's right. It was that he burned his back legs with a lighter, but then he had third-degree burns over 80% of his body. Is that correct?
Correct. That's correct. Uh-huh. That's correct. And all of the veterinarians, the teams, there was a team of veterinarians and specialists who tried for 2 weeks to save Davy. And with 2 weeks of a team of people, they could not mitigate his suffering enough to justify keeping him alive.
I mean, this puppy. I mean, it's a puppy.
He's a tiny puppy. He's a min pin puppy. So he's a small breed, tiny puppy. And one of the things that was most striking that the veterinarian testified to at the trial was that this, based on the x-rays and the nature of the injuries and how far along they'd healed, this was not a one-time occurrence. He didn't have an off moment. This occurred over periods of time on multiple occasions. And so this puppy endured suffering for who knows how long? How many months?
Probably his life. And the thing is, even if it was a one-time occurrence, it's completely unacceptable. But the fact that this poor small breed puppy, any puppy, it would be bad. But this poor guy, like probably for his lifetime, has been enduring ongoing torture by this heinous person.
So Jill, did you sit in during all the testimony?
I did. Some of it was not admitted. The DA's office, who built a phenomenal case, had several of the members of the veterinary team there. They had members of law enforcement who had participated in the investigation, and the judge allowed only one from each of those groups. He said he felt that one of them could represent it well enough, and it's all in the report, and so we don't need to hear all of their testimony. Mr. Chen's mother testified on his behalf, pleading for mercy, and her grounds for giving her son leniency were that he's only been in our country for 3 years and did not know it was against the law.
Right. So
as if
there's the law of humanity.
Right. Is only wrong when it's against the law, right?
Right. And then, now tell me also, like he said that he didn't understand that he did nothing wrong at sentencing also, right? So there was no remorse.
No.
There was no, I shouldn't have done this and the poor Davy is now dead. And I tortured him and he was in all this pain before he died. There was no, I'm so sorry. I should have thought better than that. So no remorse.
Yeah, no remorse. So help me understand why the judge with no remorse, why he decided only 1 year with 5 years probation.
Yeah, that was a shock to all of us. At the beginning of the sentencing, the judge stated that even though animal cruelty is now a felony in all 50 states, given the way the law is written, judges have discretion to simply give them probation and all the way up to 7.5 years in state prison. So the judge made that clear. He had discretion. We heard the evidence. Mr. Chen admitted to everything. He pled guilty. There was no denying what he did. And the judge, at the end of everybody's testimony, he asked Mr. Chen and his defense attorney what he was studying in college, how many years he had left, and that was sort of
that was his
shocking to all of us. We didn't understand what the relevance of that was.
Right, where's he going with it?
Right. The judge further pointed out that he understood that these acts occurred over a period of time and that they pointed to a sadistic behavior pattern.
Wow.
Someone who needs to be locked up forever.
Exactly. He also admitted that he understands the link between animal violence and escalating to violence towards humans. And he wrapped all of that up by saying, but I don't think this young man is lost. That's a quote. He said, I don't think he's lost. And I think we can best help him by not having him spend time in prison, but by keeping a close eye on him.
Are they mandating any therapy?
Yeah, he's going to go to something called batterers management. I think it's tantamount to anger management classes, and he's gonna be on probation for 5 years, and he can't own an animal for 10 years.
Oh, so he can own an animal again.
It's like
after 10 years, he can own an animal again.
Wow.
And the 365 days in county jail, everybody knows what that means. That's likely 60 to 90 days. So not serve a fraction of that.
Maybe. And then the other thing, now I do understand that the school did the right thing and they have since kicked him out of the school. Is that correct?
I don't know if that's correct or not. We're looking into that.
Okay, perfect.
We're also looking into whether or not immigration is going to be there when he finishes his sentence to deport him.
Well, hopefully they are. So we're talking with Jill Anderson with Shadows Fund Rescue. And Jill, we want to go into this with you some more. And maybe if you have maybe the judge's name, how we could contact people, how we could bring more attention to this. So as soon as we get back from our commercial break, we'll go over that and we'll make sure and get it all out there.
And remember, you can call us at 818-353-1276. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Happy birthday, America! Celebrate with American Trilogy at the showroom at South Point, featuring the likeness of Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, and Neil Diamond. July 3rd to the 5th. Tickets at the box office, online at southpointcasino.com or charge by phone, 702-797-8055. American Trilogy at the South Point. Live on stage, your home for great comedy, the showroom at South Point. Breathe in.
Sleep deprivation in a mother.
Former Saturday Night Live comedian Jim Brewer.
Leads to murder.
He has advice for everyone. July 10th and 11th. Tickets at the box office.
She don't nap.
Online at southpointcasino.com.
She don't sleep.
Or charge by phone, 702-797-8055.
The devil goes,
I'll take over from here. Laugh it up with Jim Brewer at the South Point. Must be 18 or older.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
Save a ton of money and stay safe. Handyman Spike Carlson. something people should know is where their shutoff valves are. The burst pipe, you should know where the water shutoff valve is, the shutoff valve for your gas is.
And where the main electrical panel is. Another tip?
In every kitchen and in every bathroom and in every garage, there's an outlet that will look a little different than other ones, and that's called a GFCI outlet. And that will have a little reset button on it. And sometimes it's just a matter of hitting that reset button.
What does GFCI stand for?
Ground Fault Circuit Interrupter. And it's a safety device that code has us use in areas where water and electricity are close companions.
Push the button, and that socket may start working again. You've saved yourself a pricey house call. Spike Carlson's book is 100 Things Every Homeowner Must Know. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
All right, welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk, and we have Jill Anderson with the Shadow Fund Rescue on the line with us, and we're talking about this horrific monster.
So, Jill, I have a question. He's been here 3 years in the United States, correct?
Correct.
So he's not a U.S. citizen, I'm assuming.
No, he's a Chinese national on a student visa.
Okay, so why are we not pushing for him to go back to his, home
Homeland.
country?
Well, we are, and that's likely going to happen. He will most likely be deported. Folks are a little conflicted because we know what happens then. It's just open season on dogs in China when he returns to China.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is a controversial subject because
he shouldn't be out there at all. But, the sad thing is, and we have to draw attention to these type of situations because there's another one. I'm looking at my news stories, and there's another, one in Fresno, California here, which is my hometown. So, it's rampant, animal abuse. And people do not realize if we do not become stricter with our laws and make our judge, because it transfers over into kids, it transfers over into people. Right. It's not just animals. There is proof. Right. There are studies out there that show if you are torturing an animal, more than likely it's going to transfer over to a human being.
Right.
No, Jill, I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I really want to get, so this is, judges are, we elect judges, and this judge is one of our local judges here in Santa Barbara County. Our people in Santa Barbara are the ones who elect him, so I really want to get the information out to get more information about Davey. I know you've started a Facebook page. I personally liked the page and want to keep up on Davey's story and what's going on here. But can you give us and the listeners that information?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so the judge is Judge Brian Hill, who is a judge at the Superior Court in Santa Barbara County. He's not up for re-election until 2020, so we've got to hold on to this and remember it. We've got 5 years to wait, but he will be up for re-election in 2020, and we can make sure he is unseated at that time. In the meantime,
so that's quite a while that we have to wait for more bad decisions.
Yeah.
But
in the meantime, we're making sure the world knows Brian Hill's name and making sure he's shamed just as much as Duan-Ying Chen.
And let me ask you, since you're kind of spearheading this with Davey, have you guys looked into other judgments that Judge Brian Hill has done, in order to see if he tends to have a leniency with himself in his judgments?
There's a lot of criticism of him for various reasons, but there's no pattern of consistency. And so, some criticize him for not being lenient enough. And so this may be his swinging really far to the other side to try to appease those critics. I'm really not sure. Nobody can point to any rational explanation for why he handed down such a light sentence on somebody who's very obviously sick and obviously a threat.
Okay, so now, Jill, your group, so you're with Shadow Fund Rescue. And what is Shadow Fund Rescue?
Shadow Fund is a rescue and sanctuary for the dogs that we consider to be the most vulnerable. We focus on senior dogs, pit bull type breeds or pit bull mixes, dogs who are in shelters who have treatable injuries, maybe they've been hit by a car or illnesses, the dogs that tend to get passed over for adoption but are perfectly adoptable.
Okay, so this sounds like me. I love this.
Both of us.
I love this story.
It's very fitting.
Okay, and where are you out of?
We're in Santa Barbara County at the north end in a city called Lompoc.
Okay.
And so we've been following the Davey story and went to attend the sentence expecting to see this young man serve 7.5 years in state prison.
Yeah, I can't understand why he wouldn't have the max, because even that he's only going to spend 3 years.
And Jill, has any public official come out and publicly condemned the judge's decision at all? Like anybody from Animal Services, has anybody came out and publicly said, we feel that this was wrong? Besides a rescue organization, is there anybody, in the county standing behind you guys?
Yeah, right now we are talking with folks at the district attorney's office as well as some of our state legislators, all of whom are just shocked and disgusted with this decision.
And can we have maybe their names so that we can help push this out there and support them as well in this?
Sure. Our district attorney is Joyce Dudley.
Mm-hmm.
And
Joyce Dudley.
Yes, and her team worked so hard to get the maximum sentence in this case.
Yeah, and I also heard that, there were some even during testifying that the evidence here was so horrific that there were those even crying on the stand.
Yes, the investigating officer barely could get through her testimony. She was sobbing.
Oh my goodness.
The officer, the veterinarians, the DA, everybody involved begged for the maximum sentence. They all testified this was the most horrific abuse case they'd ever experienced in their careers.
And maybe one of the lightest sentences.
So everybody that this has touched, it has basically, left a dark spot in their heart.
Yeah.
Yet this judge, one person, he has hope.
He has hope for somebody that's a monster.
So we could talk about this all day, but we have to go to a break. It's Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. And we have, Chad and I have Jill Anderson here with the Shadow Fund Rescue, and she's the one who's been following this horrific case out of Santa Barbara and this misjustice, in my opinion.
So Jill, before we let you go, because you've probably gone through this and talked about this 100, if not 1,000 times to different people, and I don't want you to have to live it over and over again on this supposed to be a celebratory day.
Independence Day.
But what would you like to get out there before we let you go today?
Okay. We have a Facebook page where we are posting updates and calls to action. It's Justice for Puppy Davy. And our end goal here, and this is going to be a long game, but our end goal is getting legislation through that requires mandatory minimum sentences for those convicted of felony animal abuse. So that is no longer in the hands of judges to decide whether or not to let these monsters go. And it's going to be a long push, but we're going to need a lot of public support.
And Jill, are you working with, because I know the Humane Society of the United States does a lot of legislation, have you reached out to them?
We've reached out to the Humane Society of the United States as well as the ASPCA's state legislative director, and there is interest from both.
Okay,
we'll see what the involvement looks like. I also met with one of our state legislators last night who's committed to exploring the options and what we can do legislatively. There's nobody that hears this that is not just absolutely horrified and ready to move forward and take action.
And Jill, when you get off the air, I want to actually get your contact information because Wayne Pacelli is actually a friend of Paul Works, and I would actually have my business partner, Christina Morgan, reach out to him personally about this situation to make sure that you guys do get some help from the Humane Society of the United States, because I think this is something that they need with their power and the money that they bring in.
And that's what they do.
And that's what they do. They help change the laws.
And it's time. It's phenomenal that animal cruelty is a felony in all 50 states. Now we got to give the law some teeth so that when we do convict these folks,
the law has to have power. The law has to have power. So now, as far as the short-term game, now I had read somewhere that we were trying to send petitions to the judge or to recommend him changing the sentencing. I don't know how that works. What is that?
Yeah, we're not doing that because we can't. Unfortunately, he operated within the law. He had discretion and he exercised his discretion. So we're not going to waste time trying to get the decision recalled. There's no legal mechanism for that to happen. We can send letters shaming the judge to the papers, but what we're going to focus on is two things. One, keeping this in the public eye. We have a March for Mourning for Davy scheduled for July 19th in Santa Barbara, and folks can get all the details on the Facebook page. And we want to keep it visible, keep folks mobilized so that when we get legislation introduced, we have enough grassroots support to push it through.
Wonderful, Jill. And we wish you a happy 4th. And, all the best to you, and anything we can do, please let us know. We'll definitely go to your Facebook, like that, and follow you guys and support you through Paul Works.
The Facebook page was Justice for Puppy Davy, and I was going over the page last night, and boy, when I read the story, I just was like, oh my goodness, I'm crying all over again. Just because you just think what this poor little defenseless dog must have gone through, and that I don't think that there's justice in this case. I don't think the sentencing was correct, but I do think that that Davy's life matters, because every life matters, and then hopefully we can change the mandatory sentencing, make a difference, bring his story and his likeness and everything to light, and hopefully make some changes for Davy.
Yes.
Yeah, that needs to be his legacy.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you for calling in. Okay, so
deep breath, huh?
I know. I feel like one of those days. Remember, I was all fired. I remember a couple of weeks ago, I was all fired up about something I can't remember. Oh yeah, spaying and neutering. And I was like,
yes.
Spay and neuter your dogs. Now I'm like, okay, don't torture your dogs. I don't know what's going to be next week.
You know, in rescue we see it all, and we see the worst in humanity, and then we see the best in humanity.
Oh, and there are. I mean, some of the volunteers. I mean,
Yes.
one of the girls that is volunteering for me right now. I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're awesome. I don't know. I mean, I bow to her because she's sitting there helping me out of a jam. But then
you and I both. I mean, the volunteers, the fosters. I mean, without them, we would not be where we're at. I mean, the amount of animals that we both save. If we didn't have fosters, and you take them a lot of times.
I've had a few of yours, but you know what? It's always good news when I see the updates. They're all once they get adopted and find new homes, so that's always positive.
There is a news story though that I wanna read about, and I don't want to deter people from going to doggy daycares or anything like this, but it's something that people do need to be aware of.
Because socialization is important.
Yes.
Like, responsible socialization of your pets are important once they're in a home.
But there is a story out there right now, and it is at Camp Bow Wow in Collier County, Florida. A 1-year-old bulldog named Wrigley, a.k.a. Monster, died after he went under a plastic pool, somehow nudged it, and it fell on top of him, causing his death by suffocation. Workers and the owner of Camp Bow Wow are still trying to figure out how this happened and how to prevent future accidents of this nature. Wrigley's owner dropped him off 3 times a week at the establishment and watched him through Camp Bow Wow 24-hour video surveillance. She is devastated and doesn't know why no one noticed him in distress or even missing at all.
Well, now this is a story. Definitely we want to socialize, and she was taking them 3 times a week. But there is 24-hour surveillance, which means they have cameras, which means those owners and those people in charge there, they know exactly what happened here. There was other speculation that there were people over in the corner, like huddling, chit-chatting, like sometimes people do, instead of looking after that. And he was a bulldog, so if you've got a bulldog that's outside, you have to pay attention to that.
And what people don't realize, bulldogs smash-faced, the heat, it's been very hot, Florida, humidity.
I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster.
And you and I both come from a background of doing doggy daycare and boarding,
right.
So we're very aware that you can't leave animals out of your sight. I mean, if you have a room full of animals or they're outside, wherever you're at, you have to be aware of every single one of them.
Yeah, and people think it's just if they'll fight. No, it's not just because you've already assessed them.
They pick something up and they chew something, and then you hear that chew. I mean, I've had it all. And it's moments where, I have 10 dogs around me and I'm watching every single one of them, and you can't keep your eye. It's like kids.
Right. And you're like, wait a second, what? I heard a noise. I remember I dropped some ice because I was drinking something, and I dropped some ice like behind me, and I heard I'm like, what's going, like freaking out, what's going on behind me? And it was, I had Rex was chewing on some ice cubes, which isn't the end of the world, but it was enough that I couldn't see it. So we need to find out about it. And this is a story. I know I'm making jokes, but I mean, this is a story. It's tragic for the owner. I saw the little pictures of this little dude, just adorable little Wrigley. And
we can talk about it more because I have a lot to say about it. But you're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio at CRN Digital Talk. Okay.
We're a little off today. It's
Right.
4th of July. We're moving a little slower today.
Well, we're making sure all of our dogs are inside, and
but we've had some pretty hot topics, and the one that we're at now is the Collier County, Florida doggy daycare camp Bow Wow that a bulldog named Wrigley passed away because he got trapped under a pool and suffocated. And we were talking on the break, you and I, and as I said previously, that we both have done doggy daycare and boarding.
edited. We have to like tone it down a little bit when we're on the air, but
the frustrating thing about this is I can tell you from doing this job for 10 years that this dog was not being watched. And with that being said, as you said in the break, that bulldogs are not quiet to begin with.
No. I mean, you could hear them breathing a mile away. And then definitely, I mean, this little guy, obviously, he's suffering. He suffered and he passed from a heat stroke. So when they're so loud anyway, and it's an extremely painful death for them, he made some noise. I mean, give me a break. And someone, if anyone was out there anywhere near that vicinity, they knew. And why was the pool empty? Why was it in a position that he could topple it over himself? And
if there is a pool, exactly. Why is it empty? And if it is empty, why is it not put away? These are like, people don't realize dogs are like 2 to 4 year old children.
Yeah, so you got toddlers running all around.
Yes.
So what are you doing? You just leave the toddlers, like, there you go. There's the street. It's okay. I trust you not to go into it.
And one thing I want to say is there are many amazing doggy daycares, dog walkers, boarding facilities out there.
There are. I mean, there's a number of them. I know that, I've worked with a number of them. You and I both have been in this business for many years, and we understand. I mean, there are people who are really passionate about animals, and
accidents happen. Accidents do happen because it's like having a child. Accidents will happen. But this is clearly, in my belief, this is not an accident.
Where's the video? They've got 24-hour surveillance. She could watch it. Show me the video.
Your eyes are so rolling in your head.
Well, just because it's infuriating, because this precious life again died for no reason.
Yes.
And there are people who are losing their animals due to cancer or something genetic. I mean, there's all kinds of things. People that would do anything, that would pay anything to save their animals. And then this was another situation where an animal died for no reason.
Well, one thing, I'm going to lead into another story, and then I'm going to come back to this because there is, I said earlier that there's a story out in Fresno, California. The gentleman's name was Refugio Alvarez, and he was arrested for felony animal abuse after social media circulated pictures of his dog tied to the back of his pickup truck. Animal control officers first thought they were investigating a misdemeanor case, but soon discovered the German Shepherd to be covered with ticks. A witness said the dog seemed lethargic, and the vet treated him with a blood transfusion for his anemia. The AC officer, which is animal control, determined that the dog had been suffering for quite a while and then arrested Alvarez for the more serious charge of felony neglect. So, this is very frustrating, but they arrested this gentleman. And I do believe that there was neglect here at the doggy daycare as well, and that something needs to be done legally.
Well, I do agree with you on that. I mean, and that's the reason nothing's coming out. I mean, that's the reason they're like,
Yes.
we're reviewing it, because they know there's a liability issue. And you're dealing with live beings. You're not dealing with a report that you could come back to later. You're dealing with something that matters. Something that's living, it's breathing. And so, yes, I mean, this case in Fresno was horrific also. Social media obviously caught this guy. Someone saw him dragging his dog. Okay, so I think that I've got a truck. Like, no problem. Let's take a drive up to Fresno. Let's, let's go through a tick field and let's see, let's see what this guy goes, like, how he likes it. But
as I said, I grew up in the Central Valley, and people don't realize there are many really bad areas in California that are not no-kill, the shelter system. LA is really, really trying hard. There's amazing organizations that really work with LA.
There's a lot of groups that are really...
And the shelters are starting to really begin to try. There's Bakersfield or Kern County, and there's Fresno County. And people don't realize that Fresno County and Kern County are very difficult counties.
Weren't we talking about Oklahoma the other day and the people over there and how they need to change?
And people don't realize that it happens here. 70 to 80% of the animals that go into the shelter in Fresno County, and the statistics are out there, are euthanized.
Okay, so I don't want this dog going into the shelter either. I don't want any dogs going into the shelter.
But this is the mentality that you're dealing with in Fresno County. And Fresno County is great. I mean, I grew up there 20 years. I left.
Look, it is different. There are people who think differently. Dogs are to be outside, and dogs are, if they get sick, we don't need them anymore. We take them on a drive on the freeway, and that's how they, they're roaming and they get found there.
And there are great rescue organizations out
No,
there,
there are.
But they are fighting a huge uphill battle.
I think every rescue group is fighting a huge uphill battle right now.
But I agree.
I'm fighting a huge uphill battle right now. So.
But at least we have a lot more public support than some of these other areas.
Some of the other areas. Yeah, and that's true. I mean, definitely anyone who's out there, support your local rescues. There's things that you can do. So, yes, the situation at Camp Bow Wow, I mean, there's going to be liability there, but it's minimum because dogs are considered property. So Camp Bow Wow, I'm sure they've got some kind of, protective clause and stuff like that. I'm not bashing Camp Bow Wow. I'm saying in this particular situation, I think there was neglect.
Oh, I'm bashing Camp Bow Wow in this situation because
in this situation, I am. There was neglect in this situation, in my opinion.
If this happened once, the chances are that this has happened before, and they've just gotten lucky. And again, accidents happen. So I'm not condemning an accident, but I'm condemning the neglect. So if neglect has happened once,
this dog suffered. This dog's heat stroke. I mean, that's a horrific, extremely painful death for a bulldog.
Absolutely.
Well, for any dog.
And what people don't realize, like when it comes to animals, you have to have, it's like being a nurse or a doctor. You have to have something in you to want to be working with animals. But again, it's time for a commercial break. You're listening to Rescue Radio.
Wow, we're like crazy
on
today.
CRN Digital Talk Radio.
CRN travelers, relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Managers make mistakes. Leadership expert Ken Blanchard.
I wrote a book with Colleen Barrett, who was the president of Southwest Airlines. She had a wonderful saying, people admire your skills, but they love your vulnerability.
Admit your error, especially when it impacts an employee's performance.
You got to take credit for that. You say, gee, I just want to apologize. Maybe I didn't make it clear enough about what we're working on in the direction we want to go. And rather than them thinking less of you, they will admire you more, because everybody knows all of us aren't perfect. And if you fess up, then people are willing to fess up their mistakes rather than trying to hide them.
Ken Blanchard and co-author Spencer Johnson have updated their management book, first published in 1982 and on the New York Times bestseller list for years. The new version reflects a more successful management style, positive partnership. The book, The New 1-Minute Manager. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk. So that went quick.
Our last segment on this 4th of July.
Yes. So I think there were some very important stories here this week, and we didn't have our
well, in honor of the 4th, we kept our animals at home.
We kept them at home. That's what
safe and
practice
sound.
what you preach. Keep them at home. So. And it was difficult during the break because I'm like fidgeting. I don't have anything to do.
We're both very fidgety usually, and we have to have something to do. So that the fact that this is so calm and we're not running around like chickens with our head cut off, is very odd for us.
I'm like, what to do? So I might as well get fired up over these stories, right?
So let's go back. And the one story that we definitely need to stand out again is the story about Dwayne. How do you even say that name?
I just douchebag. I just went with douchebag. But Dwayne Chen,
Mr. Chen,
douchebag Chen.
Yes.
So he did these horrific things that he pled guilty to. So it's not even allegedly. He pled guilty to these.
And if anybody missed what we read again, I'm going to read it one more time so it sears in your brain because we have to make a difference about this. It was a 5-month-old. Was it a miniature pinscher or Doberman pinscher? It was a 5-month-old
Doberman pinscher puppy.
Breaking his legs, ribs, cutting his penis off, sexually assaulting him, burning his back legs with a lighter, and 80% of his body was covered.
Had over third-degree burns.
Third-degree burns.
So, yes, he was burning his back legs with a lighter, but he burned this dog so severely that the skin, there's video footage of it out there, like the skin was actually just falling off this poor little baby's body.
And what happened to him was he will be serving 1 year in jail, in county jail, and he gets 5 years of probation.
Which means what, 60 days?
So the judge had his discretion to give him up to 7 years and said that this gentleman, had a future and he didn't feel like, making him be in jail and wasting his future. And that judge is actually Judge Brian Hill. Yes. He's with the Superior Court of Santa Barbara.
You know what? I want to get this guy's name out there, too. So let's see. It's actually, I keep calling him douchebag, but it's Duanying Chen. So just in case anyone wants to, visit him, say hi to him. So go ahead. Yes, the judge. Judge is Brian Hill. So Brian Hill, Santa Barbara County. We vote for him. He's up for re-election 2020.
And if the one thing that you can really do and help and support and get the word out there, we all know Facebook is huge, social media is huge. Jill Anderson and Shadows Fund Rescue has started a page for little Davy. It's called Justice for Puppy Davy. So if you search that on Facebook, you should be able to
like his page.
You can like
yeah.
that page and follow. They're actually going to be doing a march July 19th in Santa Barbara County. I'm not sure exactly where that's at, but it should be on the Facebook page. This is definitely something people need to get out there and realize what's happening, because the only way we can change the laws is if we all get involved.
And the law has been changed. The law has made all
Not
50
good enough.
states, all 50 states, the felony. Animal cruelty is felony. So that part, I mean, that I'm like, yay.
But judges
Okay.
still have discretion.
But judge still has discretion. So now it's like, okay, so we got the first part of it. Now we need to make sure the sentencing part, because he could have sentenced him up to 7.5 years, even though I feel like he deserved, 70 years or 7.5 lifetimes, something like that.
And now they're working because he is visiting on a student visa from China. So they're looking to try to deport him. But again, we're passing...
Controversial also. China, he could get away with this no problem.
He could, and we're only passing the buck to another country, which is not going to do anything. But we're not holding him responsible. So we need to get him out, because eventually this is not going to be a dog. It's going to be a person.
Oh my goodness!
So imagine doing that to a person.
And the school, I understand the school went ahead and the school kicked him out. So I don't know. I don't want to go to that school.
So
I don't want to visit that school.
Justice for Puppy Davy. Follow that. We will be here next week, and we'll have all our puppies again. We'll have our medical case.
We'll be back to
we'll
that.
We'll have Pet of the Week.
But make sure you keep your puppies inside, okay? I mean, it's like...
Make sure to follow Paw Works on Facebook, Animal Foundation of America on Facebook, Rescue Radio. Keep the puppies inside. Keep the kitties inside. Cats get scared too.
Cats get scared too, definitely.
If you ever want to call us, we're at 818-353-1276.
And some of the cruelty can be done on cats on 4th of July, too. So make sure you keep kittens inside.
Yes. Anything else, Ms. Hackett?
I think just have a great 4th of July. Enjoy your independence.
Be safe.
And if you want, you could rush out the first thing tomorrow morning and adopt a puppy and save a puppy's life.
Happy 4th of July. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Which is most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political